If your intention is to superstar and sing, I got to tell you now, mindset is everything. Mentorship is important. Look, coaching is necessary. And accountability is required. And I'm trying to tell you now, look, don't get up and sing and let anybody, look, any guru, any so-called teacher, look, the expert. Okay, don't get up here and let these experts and gurus and teachers confuse you. Oh, teach you about sing. Okay, let's go.
When you talk money, I can hear you. I hear money.
What you say now?
When you talk money, I can hear you. You ain't got money, that's cold blood. When you talk money, I can hear you. I hear money.
I swear I let the bill collect the finance director, like the banks ain't lending out dough. So when you ain't got money, then you start sounding funny, and I just can't hit on my.
Hey, Bubble on deck. I'm your host, Tamara Bubble. Yeah, look. AKA the I Hear Money Coach. AKA your favorite sing superstar. Yeah. AKA your mentor. Look, I'm trying to coach you all the way to superstardom this episode. Or at least, look, my goal, maybe I can't coach you all the way, but my goal is to make sure you ain't pick a coach or a teacher or a guru or an expert that don't know what they're talking about. So we just going to talk a little bit about that this episode. We're just going to get up inside your head real quick and make sure you're thinking appropriately. Anyway, can we talk about why this podcast was created? There were 4 goals in mind. And I want to go through all 4 real quickly. Look, goal number 1 is to save you money in your sync business. That's why this podcast is here. We're going to save you tax-wise. We're going to save you, look, I'm going to try to a couple episodes down the road. We're going to hippity hop down the road and get to talk about how you save money in your sync business with your, look, your costs, your production fees. Look, these fees that you're paying out here to create this music, we're going to talk about it. We're going to save you some money. Anyway, most of the time, though, on a regular basis, we probably saving you money in tax strategy. Yeah. Okay, anyway, you're going to need a business to do that. If you don't have no business, go to Start Your Sync Biz now. It's at the Sync Superstar Academy, but we'll talk about them a little bit later. Goal number 2 is to make you more money in music licensing. I'm out here in these sync streets teaching the people because I love sync, because I'm good at making money at sync, and I want to show you all how to get to this money. I'm trying to tell you, there's too much opportunity out here. I know you think it's limited. I know you think it's scarce. It's because you're listening to the wrong folk. You're listening to the wrong experts. You're listening to them gurus that they ain't winning in sync. They ain't superstarring. So they're just speculating about what they think. Sometimes I think they're trying to make you run away. But anyway, we talking about goals right now. I ain't going to get off track. Goal number 3 is to transform your mindset. That's what this episode is about. And goal number 4 is to activate your superstar. Look, that's the goal. That's why we're here. That's what we're going to do today. Anyway, could we talk about the sponsor? I want to talk about the sponsor. The sponsor for this episode is the Sync Superstar Academy. The Sync Superstar Academy was created solely to activate your superstar. Them goals that I just went through. Look, in 30 days or less. Transform your mindset and activate your superstar. You're going to need to take the 24-hour Sync Superstar Activation Challenge. And look, when I tell you, I'm going to teach you every single thing I know about sync. One thing I know is how to superstar consistently. One thing I know is about these 6 and 7 figures in music licensing. And that's what I'm going to teach you. Okay. Anyway, let me see. Because I don't want to forget anything. I know I'm going to come to the disclaimer, but I feel like there's something else I need to talk about. Oh, yeah. It's subscribing time. I almost forgot. My bad. Okay. Anyway, if this is your first time on this podcast, do me a favor. Leave a 5-star review. Look, let me show all the fingers. 5-star review, like you know what to do. Just for the podcast in general, you only got to do that one time per podcast. Okay. So if you left that for me, I need you to come on back. Look, come on back to YouTube or Spotify or who is the other one? Apple Podcast, whichever one you listen to. Look, pick your poison. Whichever platform you on, do me a favor and subscribe to that channel. Subscribe to the podcast. Turn on notifications. Look, turn on any and all and every single alert so that you get every single episode. Look, I ain't going to spend too much time on that. That's subscribing time. That goes throughout the podcast. Throughout the podcast, you can also comment, share, do the YouTube stuff, especially if you on YouTube. Okay. And let's talk about this disclaimer real quick, and then we're gonna get into the episode because I'm about to fry your teacher. I'm fitting to flame your guru. Look, they're giving you bad advice, and it's making you think you can't make it in sync, and it's getting on my nerves. Anyway, the disclaimer for this episode, for the last episode, for the next episode, for every single episode, I guess to say this every time, I gotta let you know that, look, I'm a formerly licensed CPA. I gotta let you know that I be superstarring in sync these days. Look, the license ain't active no more. But when I tell you I know what I'm talking about with these tax savings, when I tell you I know what I'm talking about with tax planning, tax strategy, all the tax stuff to keep your money. Look, I'm trying to help you keep your sync money. Anyway, I'm not your licensed CPA. Look, this advice on this podcast, every single thing that I say is my personal opinion. If you are aware of that, we can go ahead and make money together. Because look, what I'm going to give you is not professional business, legal, or tax advice. You got to know that. You got to go get your own lawyer, go get your own CPA, and then come back and sit down and watch these episodes and learn this sync game for free. Okay, let's go.
When you talk money, I can hear you. I hear money.
What you say now? Hey. You ain't got money, then you start sounding funny, and I just can't hit all my. I keep it moving like the tax collector, like the credit checker, let the whole world pay full price. Because you ain't got money, then you start sounding funny, and I just can't share that right.
Okay, now, look, can we talk about who you letting get up in your head and confuse you about sync? I have to say this because, look, I'm trying to tell you, when I tell you that I'm teaching sync, let me just go ahead and say this. I am teaching sync. I ain't even gonna get so bubbly and animated this episode because I really got to make sure you guys understand this stuff. I am literally out here in these sync streets teaching because I honestly don't feel like there is a program available that really teaches you every single thing from soup to nuts in order to stand out in sync and superstar. That's the whole reason. And I'll tell you a quick story about it and why I even started teaching sync, because I could have just kept doing what I was doing, and when I tell you I'm good, look, this podcast ain't for me if you understand it and you know it well. If you know me well, look, if you've been following me in what I've been doing in sync, I don't need to do this podcast. I don't need to teach a course. I felt compelled to. And let me tell you why. There was, and I can tell you why without telling you too many details because I don't get, anyway. There was an artist that reached out to me, an artist that I rep their music. I've gotten them several placements. They reached out because they wanted more. They wanted to know what more do they need to learn? What more do they need to do to win and to superstar in sync? And I kept saying to myself, like, man, I would recommend them to the class that I took when I started sync almost 5 years ago. That class is no longer being offered. Shout out to Kathy Heller. She doesn't have a class in sync anymore. And I just thought about like kind of who was out here teaching and who was out here winning. Because look, this is what you need to do when you picking a teacher or a mentor or a coach. You need to pick somebody that know what they're doing and that's actually winning in these streets. Or you just shooting in the dark with them. You just taking notes from somebody that's guessing. And that's not a key to success. That's not a key to win. All right. So the artists, they reached out and they wanted to know what class they could take. What more could they do so they could superstar like how I am doing. Right. So I didn't have a class to recommend them. That is the pure and honest truth. Like back when they asked this. So I didn't start teaching sync until this year. This was sometime last year when they asked it. And there was nobody that I felt confident enough that had like a program or something available that can really like show an artist how to superstar. And so I was like, yo, I got to teach these people because I'm sitting on information that I know these people don't know. I know you don't know it because if you knew it, you would be superstar. I'm trying to tell you, it's that systematic. Like, so I said, okay, let me teach them every single thing I know so that now there's no excuse why you're not winning. Unless you just didn't take the challenge, unless you didn't take my challenge, unless you haven't taken my course. I can't place any expectation on other courses that you've taken, other things that you've learned about sync. I don't know who's taught you, where you've learned it. But what I want to talk about today, because that was the reason why I created a course, created a challenge, created something where you could learn what I know. I'm talking about all the resources, the skill set, the tool set, and the mindset I show you in the challenge. All right. So I had nobody to recommend, so I had to make a course so that I could. So when somebody asks, "Oh, what can I do to learn sync? How can I figure out Superstardom in sync? How can I win like you're winning?" Oh, I gotta show them, because I don't see nothing out here available that's gonna actually help them to win. All right, so because the thing about it is when most artists are winning, they tend to like clam up and not share what they're doing. For fear of competition, for fear of, I don't know, a scarcity mindset. You feel like there's not enough abundance for you to win and somebody else to win. I don't feel that way. I know the amount of opportunity that is available in sync. All right. So I have to, for me, it just like, oh man, I was feeling bad. Like, wow, they're really wanting to grow and learn in sync. And there's nothing that I can even recommend them to do other than, of course, I'm pitching their music. I can continue to pitch their music and try to get them placements, but that's no surefire way for an individual to take control of their own career. I wanted people to have the power to take control of their career the way that I took control of mine. Okay, so boom, I got a course going. That's cool. I'm not telling you to take my course. As a matter of fact, if you are lazy, if you don't have the right mindset about sync, about investing, about growing your career, about being a business in addition to being an artist, I don't want you to take my course. I don't need you to take my course, because you're not going to superstar. You're not going to put the work and effort in that you need to. Like, it's more than just information. I'm going to give you the information to superstar. I'm going to give you the information to kill it. I'm going to show you what I'm doing. Look, step-by-step tutorials. I'm going to show you. If you're not willing to do it, if you're not willing to put in the time to do it, don't take the challenge, because you're not going to superstar. You're going to learn what it takes and you're not going to do what it takes. It still equals a failure. All right. So cool. I'm not saying that you need to take my course. Look, if you're trying to decide whether to take my course or take somebody else's, go take theirs. I'm telling you, you're probably still going to need some more information, because I'm trying to tell you, I don't really see the information out here for you to kill it in sync. Anyway. So now that we got that out of the way, don't take my course. If you're on the fence, jump off and wait. I'm telling you to come see me when you're ready to superstar, and don't come a minute earlier. Anyway, so there are lots of people giving advice on music licensing. There are a lot of people in different areas of music licensing, and I'm in the business of superstardom. Let me just tell you what lane I'm coming from, what level I'm teaching on. I'm not doing a course so you can learn the basics. Look, I got a master class for that. It's Fundamentals of Sync. It's a master class. In 2 hours, I'll give you the basics of what you need to know. And this will let you know if you actually want to go ahead and superstar and sync. I'm trying to tell you. Okay, anyway. I'm not doing the fundamentals with the challenge. The challenge is self-study. The challenge is advanced game on sync licensing. Look, this is not in a textbook. I don't see it nowhere. I'm trying to tell you. Half the resources available on the Sync Superstar Academy, I don't see. Look, it's not even available anywhere else. I'm just trying to tell you, a lot of people are missing the information in the steps. And this is why I think that I'm uniquely qualified to teach what I'm teaching, because one, I'm doing it. Like, I'm not, you know how they say the phrase, oh, people that can't do coach, people that can't do teach, or something like that. There's some kind of quote. Don't quote me on it, because I don't remember. Anyway, what they're trying to say is somebody that don't know how to superstar is the one out here teaching you, because they ain't figured it out. And that's who you need to not have your teacher. Okay, look. If we even talking homeschooling or whatever, look, I don't even want somebody to homeschool. Don't even homeschool your 3-year-old if you ain't good at math. You finna mess up they arithmetic. Okay, whatever it is you learning, you need to be following somebody that's qualified to teach it. Yeah. Anyway, when it comes to sync, when it comes to superstardom, that's what I'm in the business of teaching. I'm not teaching basic. I'm not going to teach you something that, I finally got a placement, and then on Monday you still got to go to work. Look, I'm trying to teach you where you can do music full time, where music is your full-time gig and music licensing is your income. Okay, and it sustains your household and pay your bills and let you eat too. Okay, because I don't know what some of these people be out here teaching. I'm trying to tell you, they might not. Look, Pick a teacher. This is all I'm going to say to you. Pick a mentor, a coach, a teacher, whoever you taking a class from. Look, I don't care what they offering. I don't care the perks and the experience and the amount of years they say they've been in sync. Because I'm trying to tell you, it be some people out here. Look, when I first got in sync, maybe like a year or two in, there was a panel. I wasn't on the panel. I think I was still an artist at this time. Meaning that I wasn't teaching or had an agency or anything like that. I was just pitching my own music, doing my own music, had agents repping my music. There was somebody that they had on a panel, and the whole time the person was just trying to sell stuff to artists. But when they get to their background and describe like the money they making and how they doing in sync, they got all these puffed up numbers. It was like, oh, look, just for I'm going to give a number that's not even normal just so you can get the example, right? Because I don't like to, this is not a jab at anybody directly. This is just a general ideology that I need for you guys to understand in your mind so you can pick people that are qualified to teach you how to superstar in sync, especially if you're trying to do music as a full-time career. Anyway, there was somebody on the panel. Let's just say they said they had got 20,000 syncs. That was their claim to fame. I got 20,000 sync placements, and I'm just out here killing it in sync. And come to find out, look, the placements was these little, I don't know if they were doing micro sync. I don't know if they were just doing, had their music with a couple of raggedy libraries or publishers or where their money was going. But all I'm trying to tell you is, the math wasn't mathing, and they were not superstarring. I think they have a 9 to 5 in addition to all this placements that they get. I'm trying to tell you, would you pick somebody? If you're trying to learn from somebody, look, if you're trying to mirror like a millionaire success, a billionaire success, ain't you going to learn it from a billionaire? Ain't you going to go get the book from the person that's actually winning? Why are you learning from somebody that, one, is not even in sync on the licensing side, on the music licensing side? And by that, I mean, that's actually in the game getting songs placed. Like, if you're not learning from somebody from that angle, how do you even know that they're teaching you something that they actually know how to do? Like, how can you teach me how to do something and you're not even doing it yourself? Like, why would I take that class? Why would I learn that from you? Why would you choose? And I'm speaking to you as the future superstar. Like, if you're trying to superstar in sync, mind who you pick to teach you how to superstar. You should be picking superstars, right? You should be learning from the people that are killing it in sync, not just somebody getting a few placements and still go to work on Monday. Or they real hustle is selling courses to you on how to make it, and they don't even know how to make it. Like, mind who you, that's anything. If you learn in stocks, if you learn in real estate, you need to pick people that's winning in these fields and not just saying they are, or not just claiming to teach you how to do it, and they don't even got no portfolio that back up what they say they can teach you how to do. I just want you guys to be aware of that. I need you guys to pay attention to that. I just need you guys to know that, like, don't allow anybody else, to project their unsuccessful career on your promising future. I'm trying to tell you this because, I hear people out here like, oh, music is saturated. Oh, sync is saturated. It's 8 billion people on the planet. Like, I don't care what job you pick. You want to go into nursing? It's saturated. You want to be a police officer? It's saturated. You want to be a teacher? Saturated. You want to be, you trying to do makeup? Yeah, it's saturated. You trying to do what? You a designer? You want a new clothing line? It's saturated. Okay. You want to be an accountant? It's saturated. A lawyer? Is it a lawyer that you trying to be? Saturated. Pick a career and come to find out it's saturated. That's all I'm saying. So don't let nobody tell you, oh, sync is saturated, music is saturated, it's hard to get a placement. No, maybe it's hard for them to get a placement. Maybe don't nobody like their music and they can't get a license. But if you're sitting out here listening to these people tell you that and making you doubt that you can win because they couldn't win and they couldn't figure it out, so they telling you it's impossible to do, ew. Okay, that's all I got to say. Ew. Talking about some music is saturated. And I'm still going to come out here and superstar. How about that? Look. Could we just talk about last year, 2022, there was an article Spotify wrote, right? 22 million songs had 0 streams in 1 year. Now, in the Fundamentals of Sync, the masterclass, I talk about why that happened. What's the big disconnect? Okay. Anyway, we ain't talking about that right now. What we're talking about is the fact that 22 million songs were uploaded. Look how many people is in music. You mean to tell me you need to bow out? You're one person leaving and stopping doing music, and now the game is good? Look, anybody telling you music is saturated, look, check their credentials, check their resume. Because what I'm trying to tell you is there is more than enough abundance in sync. Look, first of all, music licensing is a subset of music. But look how many people. Look, if 22 million songs were uploaded to Spotify last year and got 0 streams, look, all the other songs uploaded got streams. So just look at how many millions of people are out here doing music. But look at how many people are winning in music. Do this for me. Because I think people just really don't see abundance. I don't know why you can't see it. It's artists out here getting 1 billion streams, over 1 billion streams on their one song right now. They're not the only celebrity. Are you paying attention to that? Somebody can get 1 billion streams and there's still billions of streams available for you. There's still billions of streams available for hundreds and thousands of other artists. Why you can't be one of them superstars? Look, I'm just trying to tell you, there is abundance to win. Now, that's not to say every single person that tries will. So that means that's obvious. You got to do something to stand out. You got to figure out how to superstar. Okay. Superstar just means you're standing out. Because look, there's millions of people trying for it. There's millions of people trying at everything. That don't mean you need to stop because, everybody else is trying. You be the one that try until you get it right. Look. Could you do what you love until it pays you to love what you do? That's all I'm saying. Look, and the next time they tell you something, the market is saturated. Why don't you look them dead in their eyeball and tell them, if the market's so saturated, how come you still in it? Look, why you still trying? So you can try for placements, but I should go sit down because there's too many people trying. Okay. Or either they say that and then they tell you, it's impossible to do, but I could show you the way. Look, sync is doable for anybody if you're willing to apply yourself and make good music. That's all I'm saying. Don't let nobody scare you out of your dream because they don't know how to make it. That's all I'm saying. Go get the teacher that know how to make it. Okay. And if you keep on listening to them type of people, you're going to stay broke. Okay. You're going to stay unsuccessful. So I'm just saying, pick your mentors wisely. Pick your coaches wisely. Get it how you live. Figure out how to superstar however you do it with whoever you do it with. Because look, I'm not sitting around waiting for you to come to me so I can brag and say, I taught you how to superstar, and you don't know how to superstar. If you come to me, I'm going to teach you how to superstar. If you don't come to me, I'm good either way. Okay. I just wanted to make sure you know that, and I want to make sure you're aware that, look, pick people that's qualified. That's all I'm saying. Just check their receipts. I'm trying to tell you, if they're telling you they out here superstar, it look like you could use a cookie or two. I'm trying to tell you. Look like you could use a placement or two on that resume. Look, could they show you that these syncs? Look, did these syncs come from libraries? Do they know anything about an upfront sync fee? Or look, they just give all their music away to the library and they getting pennies on pennies and talking about they killing it in sync. I'm trying to tell you, I'm gonna have to do some episodes on publishing and libraries and all of these little micro syncs, all these little. I talk about it in the Fundamentals of Sync in that masterclass. I cover it, but I feel like I got to talk about it right here on this podcast because it's getting out of hand. It's getting ridiculous. It's getting out of control. And I want you guys to control your career. I want you guys to take control of your career so you can manage your own superstardom. Bubble on deck.
Look, if you're broke, don't talk to me. I said if you're broke, you can't talk to me. Hey,
I only hear money, babe.
You talk money, I hear you.
I hear it.
I hear money.
Yeah.